Hello guys, and welcome to tutorial number 2. And in this tutorial we're going to be creating our very first website using HTML and CSS, or mostly HTML for now. So hopefully you got everything I say you're going to need to follow along with this tutorial series. So you should have a good text editor now, and for this tutorial series I said I was going to make use of Sublime Text. So if you have Sublime Text, that's good. If you don't, use any text editor, any good text editor you have. So also I said you're going to be needing XAMPP. Okay, so this is how the XAMPP should look like. If you actually watched my video on how to download and install XAMPP, if you didn't watch that video, you can go to the description of this video and check that out, and make sure you download that download XAMPP and install it. So if you've got everything on your computer, then you're actually ready to follow along with this tutorial series. Okay, so what you're gonna want to do now is open up your XAMPP, and once it's open up, next to this Apache, you click on this start button that's here. So you just click on start, wait for this to turn to green. Okay, now it's green, so you can go ahead and minimize this tab and jump to browser. So you can see I'm actually using Google Chrome, so it's okay. You can use Safari or Firefox, it's okay. Okay, so you're just gonna come here and type in localhost and hit enter. So you actually wait for that to load, and once it loads up, you can actually see that this is the website, and this is actually our default homepage, and possibly for now. Okay, so what we want to do now is actually set our default homepage. Okay, so what we're actually seeing now is the default homepage set by XAMPP, and we don't actually want this, right? Because we want to actually code our own website. So what you're going to actually do now is just jump to your C drive. Okay, so a C drive here, and go to XAMPP, htdocs. Okay, so in this htdocs folder here, you can actually see a list of items here, and this index.html is the default name for our website. So this website you're actually seeing here, this is the file that's making this website show up like this. So what you actually want to do is right click on that, go to rename, and you want to name it with anything you like. So I'm just going to name it XAMPP. Okay, just hit enter and minimize this. Okay, so refresh. Okay, what you actually want to do is click on plus here, cancel this tab, and go to localhost again, and hopefully it should actually show something else. Okay, so it actually does. It shows up, it's now showing up the list of items in this directory. So if you actually look up here, you can actually see that the items here are same thing as the items here, right? So that is it. So if you want to actually see that page, or you're interested in seeing that page just deleted just now, or just renamed just now, you can actually click here and you still got that page there. So that is what we just wanted to get over for now. We just want to change our default homepage. So now that we no longer have a homepage, what we actually want to do now is go ahead and create our own first web page. So you're going to actually go down to the text editor, and once you get here, the first thing you're going to want to do is go to file, save as. Okay, and take note the what you want to actually save this file in a specific location on your C drive. Okay, so you go to your C drive, go to XAMPP, so you go to htdocs. So in this htdocs folder, you're going to want to have to save the file as an actual name called index.html, and this is actually going to be the name for our website, as in the default homepage, because XAMPP actually picks up index.html as your default homepage. So if you save it as index.html, then this is going to actually automatically load up in the browser as your default homepage. So now we're going to click on save. Okay, and let's go to our browser and refresh, and now we should have a blank page, which is actually right, because if you go to our text editor, you can actually see that here is blank. Okay, so we can't have anything here yet. Okay, so now what we actually want to do now is go over to our text editor and actually code something for our website. So the first thing I'm going to want to do now is let me just go ahead and type in HTML. So you can actually see that once I type in HTML, we've got this drop down, and this is because Sublime Text has this really cool autocomplete options that actually helps us to do things more quickly. So if I go ahead and hit on this enter now, you're gonna see that it's gonna actually autocomplete our HTML tag. So let's just go ahead and hit enter, and whoa, now we have a bunch of code displayed on our text editor. So first thing we're going to do is actually go over all this text, all these tags one after the other. So firstly, here on line 1 we're having a text, and we're having a tag here, and this tag is called a doc type declaration. Okay, so what is a doc type declaration? A doc type declaration is actually what tells the browser that this is HTML5 and you're going to treat it as a HTML5 document. Okay, so this doc type declaration is actually enclosed in, as you can see, a small down sign and a greater down sign. So that is actually how the browser knows that this is a tag. Okay, because all tags here, as you can see them, are all enclosed in small down sign, greater down sign, small down sign, greater sign. So that's actually how the browser knows that this is a tag and this is a tag and this is a tag and so on. Okay, so the doc type declaration also goes with an exclamation mark, and this exclamation mark is just actually the syntax of a doc type declaration. Okay, so the other tags here are just are pretty much very simple, because you just actually see that here we're having a small down sign, and here we're having a greater down sign. Then in the middle we're having text. So here we're having the same thing, small down sign, greater down sign, and text head, and here to title, and here the body, and that's how it is. So that's how HTML codes are. So the first tag here is actually what we call the opening tag. So here you can actually see the HTML tag here. So this actually means this is where our document starts, and this means this is where our document ends. So in HTML we've got two types of tags. So we've got the double tags and the single tags. Double tags are tags that have a starting tag and an ending tag. So here on the page you can actually see that we've got a heading HTML, and that's the starting tag, and this is the ending tag. So for the head we've got a starting tag, and here we've got the ending tag. So for the title, this is the starting tag and here's the ending tag, and for the body we have also the same thing. So you can actually see that all the tags here are actually pretty much double tags. For single tags we just have things like only the head. So a single tag just have a starting tag. They don't actually need a closing tag. They only have starting tags. So every website out there is actually divided into two parts, which is the head and the body. So the body is actually where we code, and whatever we code in the body here is actually what's going to show up in the browser in this white space you can see here. So whatever code we type in here or we code in here is actually going to show up there. Then why for the head? In the head, what actually goes up in the head is the user doesn't actually necessarily need to see that code, but the browser needs that code to actually function. So a type of tag that actually goes up the head is a title. But okay, the user can actually see the title, but it doesn't actually go up in this white space you can see here. It actually goes up in the opening tab of our browser. So let's just go back to our text editor, and let's just give this a title of my website, and okay, let's also give it a body and say this is my first website. Okay, so what you actually want to do now is make sure you indent this, because well, it's not actually a rule, but it's actually very it's a good practice, because it actually makes the code readable to both you and other or anyone you might actually show your code to. So now we're actually having just a 9-line code, and you might say, okay, it's very easy to read, right? So okay, let's just say you didn't indent your HTML codes, and you have everything just pushed up to the side like this. You can actually see that this is actually very readable now, because it's actually just a 9-line code. imagine a situation you're having, the code's up to about 100 lines, so you actually find that it's going to be very difficult for you to actually know what tag is under what tag and what text is under what tag and things like that. So now you can actually see that here is under head and stuff like that. But if you're having so much code, it's going to be very difficult to actually know which is under which. So with that out of the way, so let's just go ahead and save this, and okay, go to our browser and refresh. Okay, nice. So now we can actually see that our first web page has loaded, and you can actually see this text here that we said my website is now displaying in the tab of the browser, the opening tab here, and while the text we wrote in this body is now displaying on the body of our website. So now that we've got our first website down, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Thanks for staying to the end of this video. That really means a lot to me. So please, if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up if it was helpful to you. Subscribe to my channel and watch another one of my videos, and I'll see you next time.